me. Welcome back to One Piece Anime Re-Review Episode 125. We're here discussing episodes 1075 through 1078. Now, yes, I am in fact almost done with, I'm almost done with the Wano stuff. Yep. Pretty much in the way, I'm just about done here. Yes, with these particular episodes, there's exactly, because apparently the last voyage where episodes released for Voyage 16, it went to 1085. So, with this particular one, I have roughly 7 left. So expect 2 more videos of this, and then I will go do my 2 anime, get those 2 done, and I now have currently 3 anime ready to go. Basically, I'm gonna finish up 1, and then I'm gonna have 2 more after that ready to go afterwards. As what I'm gonna do, have those other 2 down. I'm gonna go back to Train Jameson. I think I might be able to get back to watching Train Jameson today. If not, I'm gonna have to save for tomorrow. If tomorrow doesn't have a new anime, I probably get through the remaining episodes, no problem tomorrow, and then start up next anime, which is going to be High Dive. I'll review that later, don't worry. So, in these 4 episodes, for 1075 to 1078. So, they pretty much start covering from chapters, 1048. Yes, 1048. And officially stops with, let's see, it stops with 1051. Now, in a way, basically 1077 is kind of the end of something big for this series. Oh yes, definitely. So, mostly put, here's what happens over the course of these 3 episodes. Well, they have the fire that's raging throughout all Onigashima. The water has finally finished going through all of Onigashima, and the fire has been completely put out. Yep. Wrapping up that plot thread, it's going on now for a little while. In the case of Momonosuke, he's basically witnessing Luffy, Luffy's telling him, please move Onigashima. I'm going to basically finish this off for good. Yep, and he has this giant fist, and we see a flashback to Kaido, where apparently he was basically given the name because they felt like it. It seemed like, yes. It seemed like they just simply felt like basically giving him to the Royal Navy, despite the fact he had no desire to become a Navy soldier. And then he escapes, becomes a pirate, at the age of 15, mind you, yes, 15. And then he's recruited by Whitebeard to join the Rock Pirates. And there's a mention of the Gada Valley incident. This actually was the second mention in the series about this particular thing. Now, the Gada Valley incident is actually explored in a flashback in the next arc of the series, Egghead. And it is also more thoroughly explored during, of all things, the Elbath arc, which is the current arc of the manga. So, yeah, that's set up for basically what we're seeing in the very next arc of the series. It's like, I'll get to basically talk about what the whole thing related to this arc. Basically, this arc was built up over the course of almost 20 years, over the course of the frickin' anime, that this arc was so built up really well. I'm sorry to say frickin', move on. So, basically, this anime is really long. People complain, oh, One Piece is too long! Despite the fact, basically, that I can point out, though, 2 other anime that's been on the air a lot longer than this one has. Yes. Now, before I continue talking about the episodes, of course, people tend to complain that One Piece is too long to get into. My counter argument is this. Case Closed and Pokemon have been out a lot longer than that. Case Closed has been on the air since 1995 and still going. The other anime that's still on the air, that is still going, that has been going on since 1998. Yes, the series came on when I was 10. Pokemon. Yes, these 2 anime have had a lot more episodes of Pokemon. So, if anybody basically complain that One Piece is too long, look at Pokemon, and look at case closed. And basically, you would have killed the argument. Yes. Now, the best way to watch this series, like, for me anyways, I watched the whole thing. Like, if you want to skip the filler stuff, fine. It's up to you. It's not exactly necessary to the plot. I mean, some basically that probably not very necessary. I mean, the One Piece Wicca has got a whole guide on it to tell you which episodes are canon and which episodes are filler. Yes, if you want to skip the filler, fine. Basically, if you just have to look it up, it's not that hard to find this damn stuff. Yeah, not hard at all. Just go to Google, type in basically at One Piece episode guide, and also put in which episode's canon, which one's filler. And that basically will straighten everything out. There's some filler. They did this post time skip where they've had like 3 or 4 different filler arcs, where, with the exception of one, because during the second half of the series, since Return to Sabaody, let me point this out though. The filler arcs tend to be about 2 or 3 episodes. Now, all but one that has actually been released. Well, the thing with these arcs is that they are mostly put prologues to movies. Because they had one for Z's Ambition, that was basically Z. Strong World had a prologue too. I think that was actually during Impel Down. They actually set up that particular, that was the first time they did it, but they didn't do it again to this one. Let's see. Gold has actually got, One Piece Gold, the third most recently released, that actually has an actual story related to that one. That comes right after Dressrosa. It's actually a quick little mini arc, but that arc is a prologue to that very movie. This arc, in particular, I'll talk more about that in a minute. I'll talk about it right here. There are 2 arcs in this thing that came out during this particular arc, which were filler, which were quick 2-parters, and moving on. One was the Carbon Cola arc, that was a prologue to One Piece Stampede, and there was the Uta arc, which is a prologue to One Piece Red. Would I recommend watching the prologues to the movies? Oh, heck yes, because they're really good. The other fillers, it's up to you. But back to the episodes themselves. So, Luffy summons his giant fist. Well, and of course, Kaido basically have him built up like very similar, including the old lady who would work with the former Shogun. And then pretty much basically, well, just before this, we do see the former Shogun when he's on fire. He's stretching out, he's about to bite Hiyori when Danjiro shows up and proceeds to chop up his head, ending his threat once and for all. And he does not come back. He's dead. And then Kaido basically is punched so hard by Luffy, crushing the little fire thing, and then he gets pushed into a frickin' volcano. And later on we see basically exploding out in the sea when the whole island rumbles. Yeah, that was Kaido's goodbye to this show. And to date, he has not come back. Is he dead? They never confirm he's actually dead. I'm presuming he's dead, but they never say he is. So with him defeated, initially put Beast Pirates are not initially believing the fact he's been defeated, given the fact that everybody's basically like, well, it was like, like victory. Of course, Beast Pirates tried to attack, but looking at basically Yamato calms them down. And of course, basically, they're like, we don't want to be sold into slavery. Well, you're getting prisons anyways. Because, of course, basically, we have Momonosuke in his dragon form. It's like, tells everybody, calm down, the fighting is over, and he crashes down. And there's big smoke. And out first is Hiyori. Of course, they don't know who, they still think it's the chorus. And, of course, here comes the Yakuza boss, who's actually Danjiro. And behind him is Kinemon, the Kappa, Kiku, basically everybody. They don't say Shinobu's name because they don't know her yet, but they basically got everybody there. And then Momonosuke basically makes a big speech basically about, oh, we're not going to do any factories, we're going to basically improve the land. He does so as needs to. The giant elephant who the minks reside on top of his back tells him he's basically not ready to open the land of Wano just yet, but apparently he understood, so he proceeded to leave. So then, of course, basically, well, then after comes the smoke, he introduced himself as Momonosuke Kozuki. Well, but Kozuki Momonosuke. And basically of his name, and it's like he's now the ruler of Wano, and then all of them proceed to walk inside. And that's kind of the episode. Yeah, he's now a new shogun of Wano. He's recognized by people. He probably gets to have a little ceremony to be the new ruler of Wano. That's something he wanted to do so badly, but now he does. Yep. Yep, now he's the ruler of Wano. And that's pretty much the 4 episodes nutshell. Kaido was done. You think at this point, oh, is the arc over? Not yet. Yeah, the arc officially goes on for another, I kid you not, it goes on for another 6 episodes before finally officially wrap up, because basically there's also a long epilogue. Yes, this series loves its epilogue, where it goes on for a good period of time before officially wrapping up. You could say basically that the Yamato cover story currently publishing right now, that is sort of a sequel to this, kind of. What I still want the animated, because that's a really good story arc right there. This will open a lot of stuff related to Wano. I want to see that German 66, that their arc, along with the Gang Bench, All My Family. I want to see these 3 arcs animated, because I think these arcs are important to the series. Please, Toei, please animate them. That's what I hope, anyways. Yep. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications. Next up, more One Piece after I have some dinner. Okay. Thanks, you. Bye.